About the first step of Gardner's model. In the first step, these three elements are important. E is an event that needs to be reported. M is perceiver. To repeat, M can be a machine or can be a person as well. A person who sees the event happening and then he develops his perception. And E1 is the perception of the event, which can be different from the event itself. Let's move to the graphical model. Alright, so far I have explained this part of the model, that there was this event and M is the person who saw the event happening and he developed his perception E1. E1 can be different from E. This is the first part of the model. Now let's say that M, this is the second step of the model. M, which is the perceiver, the person, he wants to report the message, that he wants to report the event that he has seen. So he will report the event according to his perception. Of course, he will report this thing that he has seen, and this is the reporting of M, which you see as SE, which is statement about event. This is his statement. This is M's statement about event. Here S means form. It also means shape. This statement of event can be in any shape or in any form, depending upon the perception of M. And E is the content about the event. Now, you see, here actually Gardner raises a number of points. What he's saying is that the message that we see, messages or news reports that we see in newspapers, or that we that we read in newspapers or that we see in television, they actually get to us via reporters, via perceivers, right? And so these reports, the news reports that we see, they may have impacts that are coming from the perceiver. So maybe the actual report, what he's saying here is that the actual report that we see in newspaper may be different from the actual event. Maybe the person omitted some details, and if we remember, we were talking about subjectivity and objectivity debate. So yes, journalists apparently are supposed to be objective, but again it's a difficult thing to practice. Like many times you cannot really control your subjective opinion to lean into the news story. This was Gardner's message. And Gardner's message, actually, by providing this element, he has provided us a detailed tool to analyze the process, and especially the process of communication, especially related to news. And this model also, a really good thing, a wonderful thing about this model is that it provides us different building blocks, and you can change it according to your research design, or according to the problem, or according to the question that you are studying. Mishkat, you were asking me earlier a question that was related to a Helix model, that what sort of problems it helps us to understand. A good thing about this model is that you can change it, you can alter it according to the problem or the phenomena that you are studying. So here I have given you the example of journalists, that when a journalist gets us a news story that is coming affected by his perception, the same thing can also be applied to drama content, to movie content. Of course, all these contents are produced by humans, and their perceptions of a situation also lean into that. Like sometimes, not sometimes, it happens actually all the times. Well, this is a detailed model. Like I said, it can be used as a building block for studying many other things. Now, here is actually how Gardner further expanded his model. Now, consider the event, an event related to the condensation of moisture in the air. What is condensation? When you were little, maybe you read this process in science books. Condensation is, have you ever seen water droplets appearing outside water bottles, especially in summer and especially in monsoon when the air
Turning
is
gas
very
into
hot?
water.
I'm sorry?
Turning of gas into water.
Yes. So very good. So what condensation is, that it's a process by which water turns into droplets appear at the surface of the glass or water bottle because of the humidity in air when it comes in contact with humid air. So now consider a person reporting an event which is related to the condensation of moisture in the air. And this is the explanation of, again, Gerbner's model. He has exemplified an event. This is an event which is related to condensation of moisture in the air. Let's say this is the event. See, this is the event that has happened. M is the person, or the person who has seen the event and who will now report it, and he perceived the event as rain. Now see that this is how E1 is different from E. So, and now he wants to transmit the message to M2. M2 is another perceiver who is getting this information from this person. Oh no, sorry. This person. This is SC. This is the part that we studied earlier. Only this part, right? M reproduces the message SE, which is statement about the event, and he used specific language form to transform the content. And M2, this is how the model is going. This is how M2 now, the same event now is perceived by another person, and this is how SE1 is the perception of this event. So this is how the model can continue. There can be M3, SE2, and then there can be M4, SE3. This is how, like this actually shows the continuation of the model. Don't you think that the message is actually altering at every stage?
Yes.
Earlier it was an event, it got altered here, and then it got slightly altered here, and then if it goes further, it will be altered again. So this is what Gerbner wanted to say, that the message that we receive through media, it comes through different channels. It comes through like perceiver, it can be machine or person who are perceiving the message. So they definitely sometimes impinge upon the actual message. That is why the messages that we see on media may be different from the actual events. Alright, this is the actually crux of the model. This is how I can briefly describe what the model says. Is this clear to everyone? Alright, if we have time, what time is it? Oh, we are running out of time. So I'll stop here. I'll discuss this part of the model in next class. What I am going to do is, you can stop the